moms to the sisters, to those that bring those into their home and love them and provide maternal care. Happy Mother's Day, one and all. You grandmas out there, you aunts that provide the love. Such a good day to celebrate with you at the ballpark. Sanderson Ford presents Diamondbacks Baseball. It's the Brewers, it's the Diamondbacks, and it's Family Day. Better said, it's Mother's Day. Hello there, folks, and welcome back to the ballpark. Happy Mother's Day, one and all. He is Mark Grace. My name is Darren Sutton. An instant happy Mother's Day to my mom, who raised us in a baseball family, and my lovely wife, Kristen, who, well, she's in the same situation, being mom and dad during the baseball season. Two beautiful children. Happy Mother's Day to you. It's one of those days, Gracie, where I know you have your wishes. Baseball without moms doesn't make sense.
No, it wouldn't make sense at all. We wouldn't have been able to play baseball as kids if it weren't for Mom getting us to and from school, to and from practice, and to and from games. But not only did she get us to and from, she stayed and watched every practice and every game. Sharon Grace, I love you. Happy Mother's Day.
Very good stuff. Last night, not very good stuff. 17-3. Can we turn the page and enjoy Mother's today?
Please, yes.
And enjoy a baseball game. All right, so we're just going to go ahead and flush it. Jack Howell likes to talk about flushing at the Diamondbacks hitting coach. So we move on. Ian Kennedy, IPK, Gracie likes to call him. He is on the hill for the Arizona Diamondbacks, commanding the zone with that changeup, and he had better do so, because 2010's version of the Harvey Wallbangers is here. It's the Brewers and the Diamondbacks on Mother's Day. Presents Diamondbacks Baseball, brought to you by Gila River Casinos, proud partner of the Arizona Diamondbacks. By Colorado Tourism. Start planning your Colorado summer adventure today at Colorado.com. and by Southwest Airlines. Visit Southwest.com. Grab your bag. It is on. Flavors of Arizona as we take a peek at our good fans in Jerome. A shot there from Jerome, Arizona.
Love that town.
As the Diamondbacks take the field on this Mother's Day. As we talked about earlier, all you moms out there, all you stepmoms, all you foster moms, big sisters that help out a lot at home, aunts and grandmothers, today is your day, Mother's Day, and happy Mother's Day to all of your moms. Of course, breast cancer awareness and the Susan G. Komen Foundation well represented on the diamond. There will be pink baseball bats in this ball game, pink wristbands. You can see Kelly Johnson, and the youngsters take the field with the Arizona Diamondbacks as well. National Youth Sports, the kids take the fields, and now everyone rising on this Sunday. You will too at home, we trust. The Uptown Angels will honor America with the singing of our national anthem on this Mother's Day. It's the Brewers, it's the Diamondbacks at Chase Field, and we'd like to bring you one step closer. Here's the anthem.
Can you see by the dawn's early light what so proudly we hailed at the twilight's last gleaming, whose broad stripes and bright stars through the perilous fight o'er the ramparts we watched were so gallantly streaming, and the rocket's red glare, the bombs bursting in air, gave proof through the night that our flag was still there. Oh, say does that star-spangled banner yet wave o'er the land of the free and the home of the brave?
A nice round of applause for the Uptown Angels.
On this Sunday, brings you Diamondbacks baseball. Glad to have their partnership. Sunday, of course, a family day. Love having the youngsters and, of course, moms visiting at the ballpark today. Glad to have you with us on Fox Sports Arizona. Out swimming by the pool. Some of you might be coming in from a swim at your home. And thanks for cooling off with us. Diamondbacks baseball. Ian Kennedy is ready to go, completing his warm-up tosses. Maybe he's a bit ahead of the curve because the lineup cards are still being exchanged. Ken Maka, A.J. Hinch, and the umpires wrapping things up. C.B. Buckner, Doug Eddings, Dana DeMuth, and Kerwin Danley. And there they are.
The Pied Piper, A.J. Hinch.
Mom's at the ball yard. We'll see dads at the ball yard with their youngsters, meaning mom gets a day off. We'll see a little bit of both today. We know how that goes at home. Let's take a look at the starting lineup for the Milwaukee Brewers. Rolling last night, Weeks and a favorite in Craig Counsell. Ryan Braun, Prince Fielder, Casey McGee. Greg Zahn, he hit for the cycle. Jody Garrett. Corey Hart gets a start. Kind of a lost man in Milwaukee. And Chris Narveson against Ian Kennedy. 25-year-old right-hander out of Huntington Beach, California. Ian Patrick Kennedy. USC, drafted by the New York Yankees in the first round in 2006. He's a Diamondback now, and we are underway. The first pitch right down the middle, strike one. Glad to have you on this Mother's Day. Numbers delivered by the UPS store, Gracie. 6 starts, last 4 of them pretty darn good.
Very darn good. And he's just attacked the strike zone just like he does with Weeks, who's using the first pink bat of the day, Darren.
We will see them sporadically throughout the day. Breast cancer awareness, and in some cases around baseball, just mom awareness as well. Susan G. Komen Foundation, Major League Baseball, and their partnership. Over the top, good sink and aggressive swing. They're sprinkled in there. And it's always fun when a guy does something well with a pink bat. Well, will he use it again? I mean, you hit yourself a homer. Might want to use it again.
I want to use it again.
You baseball players are pretty superstitious.
You can use it other than Mother's Day, right?
I don't know about that. That one is outside. Huh? I don't know about it. I don't think so.
Yeah, terrible rule.
See, you're superstitious. You're a ball player. You understand why you know, if I go 4 for 4, if I'm Jody Garrett today and I do that, I'm using my pink bat again. 2-2 to Weeks. Hard ground ball to third. It's gobbled up by Revens. Double pump. Gets it on a cross. Weeks can run, so he made it very close. Defensively, Jackson, Young, Upton, Reynolds, Drew, Johnson, LaRoche at first. Chris Snyder behind the plate, catching Ian Kennedy. And always a nice welcome back as Kelly takes a peek in from his spot at second base. They're starting to cheer him louder and louder, but every time Craig Counsell comes back, he is fondly remembered. A couple of trips back and forth between Arizona and Milwaukee. He will finish his career a Milwaukee Brewer as he takes a strike over the inside corner. And what a season he's having in a part-time role.
He's doing very well. He doesn't have near the drastic batting stance that he used to have when he was a Diamondback. It's a lot more traditional now, but the numbers are still terrific.
Good teammate, Gracie.
One of the better ones I've ever had.
He has that baby face and always has, even though he's an old man now. I say that respectfully. Old man in this game. But I think because of that baby face, people don't realize how quick-witted, how dry.
I like to say cynical.
Cynical's the best word, as he gives that one a ride to right field. Upton is there, and he puts it away. He can get you with that tongue quickly. I mean, his words come out, and he is, as you said, a good cynical guy to make you laugh.
Got a very dry wit about him.
Oh.
He just missed that ball, by the way.
He did, didn't he?
You can see he's disgusted. Happy Mother's Day, everybody.
And here's Ryan Braun. He got into one last night. He didn't miss it. At all. This is about a 35-inch, 34-ounce bat.
And boy, does he get it through the zone. Good change up there to get ahead 0-2.
What a start to the career for Braun. I mean, whether you're talking about batting average, on base, slugging percentage, he's done it all to start his big league career. And the homer is pretty darn respectable as well to begin his major league career. Bouncing ball out to short. Stephen Drew fires in time. Quick hitting for Ian Kennedy. 1-2-3. Dad and the youngsters at the ball game. That's great stuff. That's what we were talking about earlier. Southwest Airlines starting lineup: Kelly Johnson, Connor Jackson, Justin Upton, Adam LaRoche, Mark Reynolds, Chris Young. It's Stephen Drew, Chris Snyder, and Ian Kennedy. 28-year-old left-hander Christopher Greg Narveson is on the mound. He's only made 2 starts. He's made 9 appearances out of the bullpen. Combined 2-0 with an ERA of 6. But his last start in Dodger Stadium, you wouldn't know those numbers match. He went 6 innings, gave up 3 runs in a victory.
A good left-hander with a fastball around 90 miles an hour. He's got a change-up. That's his best pitch. Just have to make him throw strikes.
And he comes up and in to start things to Kelly Johnson. Kelly at .292. 10 home runs, 19 RBIs. As he takes a pitch, lower part of the strike zone on the inside corner. Over 1,000, which puts you in top 10 category at the end of the year if you stay there. And on base plus slugging as the breaking ball is high. Two balls and 1 strike to count. As Kelly shoots that one into the seats. He has proven throughout his career, Gracie, that he hangs in well against lefties. What are some of the keys for left-handed hitters to hang in?
That front shoulder. You got to keep that front shoulder closed. If you pull that front shoulder out, you'll never reach that outside part of the plate. Fastball right by him, strike 3.
Sold him on an inside pitch, did Zahn. Had a little bit of run to it. Ended up close to the middle of the plate, so Johnson goes down. Connor Jackson batted second last night. Last night was 1 for 4 with a single and an RBI. Scored a run. Only 12 games played. Missed that time on the disabled list with a hamstring injury. And he is welcome back. Welcome consistency in the starting lineup as he pops that one up and into the seats. Boy, and I tell you, Fan had a chance there.
Did we almost give out a contract?
We almost did. We might have to actually hand out our first release.
Just flat out dropped it, huh?
Good pitch, but it's called low. 1-1 the count. Mom's got her hands full, but she's got a good warm pizza ready to go. That one is low and inside. 2-1 the count. Connor throughout his career has hit lefties very well. Hovered around 300 with that batting average. Puts that one on the ground, out to short. That's Craig Counsell. Over to Prince Fielder and in time for the out. Defensively, the Brewers put Braun in left, Cycleman Garrett in center, and Corey Hart in right. McGee, Counsell, Weeks, and Fielder on the infield, and Greg's on. 2 nights ago, what an incredible play he made. Jody Garrett discussed worldwide with regard to his successes. Shows talking about him last night and today. 4 for 30 coming in, 4 hits last night, hit for the cycle.
That's just a good story.
And by the way, further review, talking about his history collegiately, where he played, what he did. He was a teammate in college of A.J. Hinch at Stanford. How about that? Your old buddy from college looking on from the other dugout.
Amazing.
Part of a 17-3 rout on the other side. 0-2. A.J. said he made his weekly call to Mom, although this one comes on Mother's Day. His mom, glass half full, said, well, I turned it off, son, after the 5th inning.
Can't say I blame her.
She said, but I did read about it in the newspaper. She said, aren't you excited for your old teammate, Jody? Isn't that great? That's such a mom's perspective.
Well, but I'm also a little disappointed that Mrs. Hinch turned us off.
Understandably so. She's watching today, though. Happy Mother's Day.
Happy Mother's Day, Mrs. Hinch.
The 1-2. Topper to the right side. Sink. Justin Upton running hard. So an infield single. You hate it when you hit it because it feels not pretty at all, but if you run hard, you might can do something about it.
That's probably one if Prince Fielder had to do it over again. Let's see if I'm not sure if Doug Eddings got this one right or not. It's tough to tell if he got the bag. Let's see. Yeah, he never got the bag. He did get that call right. Doug Eddings. They usually do get the calls right, Darren Sutton.
You bet they do.
So an infield hit for Justin. If Fielder had to do that again, he'd probably just go to the bag and let the second baseman make the play.
Adam LaRoche. 4 home runs, 19 RBIs. Breaking ball is high. 1-0 the count. Prince is over there at first. Had his way with pitchers covering and making plays with pitchers backing up. So if he wants the ball, you just let him have it, though. And so Ricky, instead of saying anything, the 1-0. That one is outside. 2-0 the count.
Saw Prince and his family last night at the same restaurant, along with Trevor Hoffman and his family last night. Got to exchange pleasantries with the big fella. What a nice kid.
He's unbelievable, isn't he? 2-0 the count. 2-1 as that one is fouled off of the plate. I was around when he first was drafted and signed, was a Brewers minor leaguer. Always handled himself the right way. And it's funny because he came in the same class with a young left-hander by the name of Manny Parra. They eventually had a scuffle in the dugout for everyone to see. Parra's still on the team. They're both great kids. That just happens sometimes.
It happens sometimes in all levels of competitive sports.
Parra's a part of that bullpen for Milwaukee. 2-1 the count. LaRoche, you can see the number, slugging 500. Will put you at about all-star category, 475 and up. It's a ground ball. Weeks this time will get to it. Fielder stays home at the bag. So Adam is erased. Justin is stranded. We've played one scoreless at Chase.
Like a new shotgun or a pair of waders or something that she'll hate, so I can use.
Shotgun?
Yeah,
for you,
some,
really?
Some kind of weapon. No, she'll, she may go shoot it once or twice. It ends up in my closet, so works out pretty good.
All right, so the Squirrel Man has shared with us what he likes to give on Mother's Day as Prince Fielder takes up and in.
Lord have mercy.
A shotgun. Or some waders, he says, so that she can use them once or twice, and then they end up in my closet. He is slowly but surely becoming our guy up here. Fielder kills it. Deep right field. That one is gone. For Prince, number 4 on the year. RBI number 15. And he drives it out of here. Does so with a Mother's Day pink bat.
But he can't use it tomorrow. Well, he picked out a 1-0 changeup from Ian Kennedy and just rips it. It hangs right in the middle of the plate. I'll tell you what, these fellers don't miss too many pitches in the middle of the plate, do they? I like
Hear
that
the beer.
I like that sign a lot.
Smile ear to ear for Prince Fielder. 1-0 the score. If there is anything for Kennedy that he has battled as the curveball drops in there, you could see he pulls the knuckle up and throws that spike curve. You could see it in his glove. Dan Herron throws his the same way. But if there's anything, it's been the long ball. That's 8 home runs allowed this year. Popped up to the right side. I was about to say, not this afternoon. Not the way that it has gone. No Texas leaguers allowed today. As McGee is erased. So as he shot one out of here, Fielder did. We were talking about shotguns. LaRoche saying that. So the best Mother's Day gift, we want you to vote today. 36929, A, B, C, or D, in honor of Adam. Is it flowers? Is it breakfast in bed? Is it, the little one with the handmade card? There's nothing better. Your daughter, your son making a handmade card for mom, or a shotgun.
Ah.
So you decide.
I'm having trouble getting off a D. Shotgun. I think every mom needs one.
The 1-0. Zahn lifts that one up and into the seats. It bounces around. It's a souvenir.
Or some waiters.
Well, I just like to encourage you to text and vote along with us today. 1-1 the count. But when you're a high ball pitcher and you throw a lot of strikes, you're going to give up homers. They better be solo homers. I mean, look, it's hard to argue with what's happened in his last 4 starts. He's got a 1.95 ERA. The long balls have been a part of his game this year. Opened up a little bit early, ready for that fastball.
Yeah, but that's okay because he got it where he needed to get it, and that's on the inside corner. If Zahn's going to hit it on the barrel, he's going to pull it way foul just like that, and at the end of the day, that's just a strike. In it goes. But it was way foul.
Goes right back to that curveball. Loves the changeup. We'll tell you, couldn't live without it. But the curveball, pretty good pitch that he's showing so far today as well. His last 3 outings, he has shown his organization, his teammates something. Against Philadelphia, at Chicago, and then against Houston as well. There's another curveball. He's feeling that pitch today. Not as many changeups as of yet. These are the last 3 outings.
I would imagine it's because that changeup got hit a long ways off the bat of Prince Fielder. But a good bounce back here. McGee, a soft fly ball, and now a strikeout with the curveball. You see Zahn right over the top of it.
You can't give up on it, though,
No,
that
you can't.
changeup. You just can't. It's tempting to, and it must be scary when Prince Fielder hits it like he can. Garrett looking to get on again. Drops down a bunt. A man hits for a cycle. Tries to bunt himself
What are we going to tell
on.
him there?
I just got a note from all the Jody Garrett fans in the world. They made it clear. 4 words. Drive it in the gap. Mark Reynolds to lead it off, 1-0 the score. The Brewers, thanks to a Prince Fielder homer, lead it, and another slugger digs in. Pitch is up and away. Jody Jackson on this Mother's Day, part of our broadcast trio. Happy Mother's Day, Jody.
Hi, Jody.
Thank you, guys. And I want to take a moment to wish my mom a happy Mother's Day as well. Terrific mom, grandmother. I love you, Mom. So I hope she's having a great day. She's in Florida. I called her right coming into the ballpark. So
it's very good. Now, breakfast in bed for you from your children?
Well, breakfast in bed is a great idea. No shotgun. But my kids are 4 and 2.
Okay.
So actually told them to go make breakfast in the play kitchen. Have Connor and Caitlin. So my little girl has a play kitchen. And they brought me plastic fruits and vegetables.
Perfect.
And plastic things, which is actually really good and a lot less messy at that age for them to be fooling with food. So
back to the screen, 2-2 the count. That's what husbands are for. We have to make up for the the youthfulness of the plastic food.
And I think the plastic food tastes a little better than mine.
Really?
Oh, yeah. I'm a lousy cook. I make good cereal.
You and Jerry Seinfeld.
Just the right amount of milk.
Breaking ball, strike 3. And I know, Jody, you have continued to kind of bring us all these Mother's Day stories from down in the locker room.
Well, and guys, you've talked about, obviously, the pink we're seeing today, Major League Baseball and the Susan G. Komen Foundation. And I did some research. National Cancer Institute says that 1 out of every 8 women will develop breast cancer in their lifetime. So we know this is obviously something that affects so many moms and so many women. And it's an emotional day today for Augie Ojeda. He shared with me earlier this week why he's wearing pink today.
The pink bat for me, especially this year, has been kind of tough on me because my mom was diagnosed with breast cancer a couple months ago. So, just doing it for my mom and for all the moms out there. And it's Mother's Day, and it's awareness for the breast cancer. So, I'll be more than happy to support a pink bat.
Well, and Augie's mom, Mila, is going through chemotherapy. He says she's doing well so far. And, the survival rates for breast cancer have gone up dramatically. And so we're going to talk to some very inspirational women today, including Patty Parker Phillips of Mesa, who was one of the 30 winners around Major League Baseball here, of course, locally, representing the Diamondbacks. Her story of how she battled cancer, guys.
Jody, thank you for all that work.
Good stuff, Jody.
Very good stuff, good research, and certainly from the heart from you and from Augie. The 2-1. Swings right over the top of what looked like a cut fastball there. 2-2 the count. And we know breast cancer and the pain that it has caused, the fear that it has caused in home. A happy Mother's Day to all of those that may have lost their mothers today to breast cancer, and their memory lives on. The 2-2. Boy, good curveball. That's been the pitch of the inning anyway. He got Reynolds to strike out looking. Now he gets Young to chase one in the dirt.
Breaking ball, just bottom drops out of it. Young cannot lay off of it. And he is the second strikeout victim of the inning for Narveson.
So now Stephen Drew on this Mother's Day.
That's not very nice of these people to boo Stephen Drew on Mother's Day.
Well, as he gets ready to go, Narveson ready as well. That one is over the inside corner. They're actually saying Drew. 0-1 the count.
I forgot about that.
Easy to do. Forget his name's Drew. The 0-1. 0-2 the count to
Right
Stephen.
Narveson. I mean, they're not even fouling him off.
Well, he doesn't care if you know his name or not, because he is introducing himself to these Diamondbacks. He's only faced them twice in his career. The 0-2. Slow curveball, tried to go back to it. Stephen shoots it down the line, and into the seats it goes.
What a grab. What a great grab.
On the fly there?
Oh, yeah. Nicely done, young man. Take a look. Yeah, on the fly. I don't know about you, Darren. What do you think?
The 0-2 pitch is outside. Well, you know what I think? Give that fan a contract. Sign him up. Give him a contract. He's going to get some tickets to the ball game, discount at the team store, play like that. That's a reason to come to the ball game, folks, as that one is outside.
Might get a contract.
We'll keep an eye out for you. You can bring your glove. He didn't even bring his glove. Catch a foul ball, and the author of the rule, the author of the contract is our boss, but we're kind of co-commissioners on handing them out. There's Derek Hall. Great idea Derek had. Like the curveball, which was a great idea for Narvison. Good morning, good evening, and have a good day.
Narvison Hotel.
Wow. Giovanni Gallardo, fabulous job, and a fan favorite, the ace of that Milwaukee staff. He was on the mound the other night. And Baxter giving his mom some flowers on this Mother's Day. Corey Hart, fly ball right field, sending Justin Upton, his counterpart, back.
Hey, Miss Dee Baxter looks good for her age, doesn't she?
She does. She does. So Hart didn't wait around to get comfortable. She's settling in. Baxter got her some good seats.
Some flowers. Oh, she just looks beautiful.
And she's sharing them with the moms out there. Very kind. 1-0, Milwaukee leads it. The man who homered on his birthday today, Prince Fielder, turning 26 years old today. That's the way you celebrate Mother's Day and your birthday.
Today is Sunday, and every Sunday is Kids Sunday at Chase Field. The first 5,000 kids to the Sunday, May 23rd game against the Toronto Blue Jays will get a D-backs bat and ball set, courtesy of our friends at Sanderson Ford Lincoln Mercury. Call 602-462-4794 or visit dbacks.com/Sunday.
Now that was a good read.
Thank you.
You get the Sutton stamp of approval.
I've been working on it. So they're not able to use those bats ever again after today, right? So they're legal today, but never again.
Bouncing ball, that is correct. Narvison flips. Kennedy covering. By the way, those bats, like the ones used by Major League Baseball players, can be purchased at the clubhouse and team stores and online. So you can purchase one, a bat just like it. $10 from the sale of each specially marked pink bat will be donated to the Susan G. Komen For the Cure Foundation. Fielder's not about to give his up, is he? He's
not a chance.
He's like 4 spots away from being due up, and he's just sitting there with his bat. Ricky Weeks. What do you make of that approach with the motion with that? It can be a pink bat, but
like
otherwise.
Sheffield.
What do you make of that?
For me, I wouldn't have been able to do it. That's just that's a lot of movement. It works for him. That might be his timing mechanism. You mentioned Gary Sheffield. His friends call him Geffy.
It's one of the better nicknames.
Well, it is.
Outside.
But I'm sure that's his timing. That's how he gets himself ready. That's the great thing about stances and whatnot. There is no right and wrong. It's all for whatever works for you. And this year it's been pretty doggone good for Ricky Weeks.
Homered in
on that front toe as well.
Line drive into the gap in right center field, and he can run. He can really run. Ends up at second. A double for Weeks. Wants to make sure he doesn't make that third out at third base. I thought initially he might take a run at a triple.
I really think Chris Young did a tremendous job getting over there, getting the carom quickly, and getting it in. Pretty piece of hitting right there. Watch how quickly Chris Young pounces on this ball, plays the carom perfectly, and gets it in quickly.
He knew right away a double was as far as he would go. That's 6 doubles this year. He has 1 triple as well. And now Craig Counsell. This is where Craig scares you in situations like these.
First pitch fastball, but right at the kneecaps. Good pitch.
Craig used a pink bat in the first at bat and now has gone back to the traditional bat.
Yep. Made it out with that pink bat. I'm done with it. Love you, Mom, but going back to my bat.
The 0-1. Breaking ball dives down and into Craig. When my father was a Brewer back in the 80s, John Counsell, his dad, was the director of public relations. So that is a name that we have known for a long, long time. I had a chance to face Craig in my minor league career. Helped to get his career started, as a matter of fact.
That was nice of you, Darren.
What a career he's had. Lines that one. You hate him in these situations, but it holds up. Took a shot the other way. Well, he was 4 for his last 5 with runners in scoring position prior to that line drive. All right, it's Sunday. Chair presented by the Arizona Plumbing and Cooling Contract.
Sounds like to me you might have been kind of a headhunter.
Oh, there's no doubt about it.
Were you?
Yes.
Oh, okay. You got a little Bob Gibson, Don Drysdale in you, just drilling people. Or
I would have given anything to have any of their
Josh
skills.
Beckett.
Again, any of their skills. How about Josh the other
Josh
day?
Beckett was just hammering guys the other day for the Yankees.
He decided he was going to get knocked around. It was just not going to be his day. So if you were going to get him, you were going to get. He was going to drill you. Chris Snyder pops it up. First pitch swinging. Look at Prince over the shoulder with the play. Made it look easy. And again, Prince Fielder, it's his birthday today. Brandon Webb, his birthday today.
Is it?
Tony Gwynn, and look at the young Marty Tarr, our director. 45 years young today. Of course, Major League Baseball provided all the photos, including Marty's. No, that's good. Happy birthday, Marty.
Happy birthday, all you guys. Marty, Brandon, what we'd like to give him for his birthday is a healthy shoulder.
That's exactly right.
Maybe throwing off a mound.
I'm with you on all of it as Kennedy went around. Marty played a lot of baseball, too, at the college level. He'd take a healthy shoulder. He'd take another run at it. 0-2 the count. Breaking ball right down the middle. That is strike 3.
Watch the D-backs take on the Dodgers this week from the all-you-can-eat section.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, man, I love that place. For $30, you get a ticket to the game, plus unlimited hot dogs, popcorn, Pepsi, and chips right out there. Call 602-462-4794 or visit dbacks.com/all-you-can-eat. I mean, you can just continuously eat.
There's nothing better. Pepsi products, water, hot dogs, popcorn, chips. Fabulous. You and I went out there last year. 1-0 the count to Kelly. That's been the other part. The curveball, a very good pitch, but it's pitching in, too.
He's pitching in. He's got everything working right now. He is absolutely baffling these D-backs. Not much of a strikeout pitcher, but he struck out 4 of the last 5 hitters and got Chris Snyder on a first pitch easy pop up to first.
Beat Kelly on a fastball in for a strikeout in the first inning. That one is away.
Now when he left in the middle of the plate, he got away with it.
Again, just 2 starts this year. 5 days ago, he pitched in L.A., 6 innings, 3 runs. He won 11-6. 5 days prior to that, 5 innings, 3 runs, 6 strikeouts of the Pirates. So his starts have been good. He got battered pretty good working out of the bullpen. Brewers made kind of a tough decision. Instead of either keeping a younger minor leaguer or signing someone maybe you got let go off the waiver wire, the Narvis and Parra, guys that might have been more talented, they opted to hold on to 2 lefties and over the outside corner, weaken their bullpen, as they said earlier. Well, Narvison doesn't look weak at all to me.
And Parra's going to look great in a D-backs uniform.
Oh, I don't know about that. They're not giving him up.
played some ugly ones, and when it gets out of control, we have got to find a way to slow down the avalanche.
A.J. Hinch was none too pleased after last night.
Nor should he have been.
That was the G-rated version of some of the things that were said. There were some strong words that came out of his mouth. Surprised us, but not surprised with him wanting and desiring to feel that way. Ryan Braun leads it off, goes to work right away, puts it on the ground. And Stephen Drew throws in time for the out. There's no better way to respond than a well-pitched game. I mean, that's how you respond. But
yeah, that's that old saying. Momentum is only as much as tomorrow's starter. And right now, Ian Kennedy made one bad pitch this game, and it was to the man in the box right now, Prince Fielder. It sailed way out of here, and that's been it. Otherwise, he's been in complete command of this ballgame. Again.
1-0 the count to Prince. 4th home run of the year for Fielder. 40s or 50s is what they expect out of him as he takes inside corner. 1-1 the count, and here it is.
Back-to-back fastballs right to the inside corner. Good stuff.
This is the series for those gentlemen. What do you expect? Perennial all-stars.
What they do.
Great hitters. Prince Fielder's done.
All three in the same spot. All three called strikes. And they were strikes. Kennedy says, I'm not going to throw you another changeup this at bat. I'm going to work you in. Watch the late comeback to the inside corner. That's a strike. C.B. Buckner rings it right up.
So making his pitches, and you love when you can send him back to the bench without swinging that bat in the end. Casey McGee looking for a 1-2-3 inning here is Kennedy. I think he just got it. Mark Reynolds makes the play. Now, boys, after a 6-pitch inning, get in there, pink bat, maple bat, ash bat, get to hitting. Do it now.
this Mother's Day. Jody Jackson with you alongside a very special person, Patty Parker Phillips of Mesa. And Patty, you're the winner of the honorary Batgirl. It was a contest among the 30 Major League Baseball teams. You're the winner locally here for the Diamondbacks. You were diagnosed with cancer back in 2008. First of all, what is it like for you to be here today? And happy Mother's Day to you, and to share this day with your family.
This is amazing to be here, and I was shocked when I was chosen, and to be here today, and I have 21 members of my family here with me is just a blessing that I had never intended to or probably deserved.
Well, you were diagnosed already at stage 3, and so what was it like, the ordeal that you went through? And you did write a blog about it, but what have the past couple of years been like for you?
It felt like an endless stream of doctor's appointments and visits. I went through 2 rounds of chemotherapy, and I went through surgeries, and then I had radiation. So I'm, finally, thankfully, on the upside and going through the reconstruction part of it. But it's been a long road.
And you have already walked the Komen race back in October and raised actually the 4th most money here in Phoenix, right? So what was that like for you to be able to, join with other women and finish that Komen race?
It was a surreal thing for me. I felt compelled that I needed to walk and I needed to be out there. And, I had over 40 people in my family, friends, and coworkers with me for that event. And, finishing it, the only thing I could think to do was run to my husband and cry, because it felt like it was finally over at that point. The whole treatment portion was done.
You know what? You have a unique story, and I ask women that have been through something like what you've been through, what's your advice? Because you did have a misdiagnosis, right?
Yes, I did. And the first thing I would say is, if you're out there and you find something that seems out of the ordinary and a doctor tells you that it's nothing, don't always trust that unless you've had other tests and other diagnostic things done to make sure.
Patty, you are an inspiration. Your husband, Rich, actually sent in the letter to the contest, so you were surprised, right?
Yes, I was surprised. I'm surprised he says so many nice things about me, because I wasn't great during treatment.
Well, again, you are an inspiration, and thank you so much. Enjoy your day. Enjoy your Mother's Day.
Oh, thank you very much. Enjoy your Mother's Day, and I hope everyone has a great day.
Thanks. Guys, back up to you.
Jody, well done. And Patty, courageous, inspirational, certainly, in taking your pain, fears, and having your life threatened and turning it into a positive for awareness, funds you have raised. Well, today is certainly your day. Congratulations. 0-1 the count to Justin Upton.
And so far, it's Narvison's day as well. 7 punch-outs through 3 1/3. 7. This is the only hit the Diamondbacks have this afternoon. Of the infield variety, came off the bat of Justin Upton back in the first inning. He was stranded, and since then, Chris Narvison has been brilliant.
Out front, good changeup. Pulled the string on him there. And it's been everything. It hasn't just been, it's been the blank pitch that's been getting all the outs. It's been a steady mix of everything. He struck out 10 Cubs last year in a game in September. That's his career high. Here comes that curveball. 2-2 the count. Upton singled of the infield variety back in the first inning. Pops that one up. Should be room. Fielder clearly saying he's got it. Calls him off. Good communication there by the birthday boy. Adam LaRoche using that pink bat today. We already heard him talk about shotguns. How does he feel about the pink bat?
I do it just in support of what's going on. Obviously, that's a pretty special day for all of us. And it's a neat way to, it's something different. You know, we all put the wristbands on, the ribbons on, and use the pink bat. I've never got a hit with it, but I'll keep trying.
So he will keep trying. That is a foul ball.
Never gotten a hit with a pink bat.
And as a matter of fact, our good partners with Amica Insurance have brought us Adam LaRoche's hit zone with the pink bat.
Oh, I want to see this.
Well, there it is.
Just throw it anywhere.
Proud partners of the Boys
No
and Girls
problem.
Club of Metropolitan Phoenix.
Adam, he's a good sport.
Whether he knows it or not, he is.
Exactly.
But he is a good sport. And he's a good teammate. And he's been a great acquisition. High drive. Did he just warm it up? Did he just warm it up to center field? No, he didn't. Jody Garrett, you didn't do that. Adam LaRoche was feeling it. Looking to heat things up with that pink bat. Well, the graphic and Adam still blue. Glad to have you back. Milwaukee leads it by a score of 1-0 on this Sunday. Zahn to lead it off. Kennedy getting ready to go. And trying to find the offense. The Diamondbacks, certainly. Narvison's been great. Curveball. Starts him off with that pitch. Hello, Mom. Our AT&T trivia question. What mother gave birth to the most professional baseball players? The 0-1. Good pitch.
Well, that's a good question. That's a really good question. I would imagine probably somebody like the Boones or the Bells.
Sue Boone?
Mrs. Boone or Mrs. Bell?
Both wrong? How about Sue Boone? How about... That's a good question, then.
Hank and Tommy Aaron's mom. The DiMaggios. How about that? That's it. Mrs. DiMaggio's. That was tapped down the first. It's Mrs. DiMaggio.
What happened? Is that right?
Yes.
Well, how come he got the bill? How about Big Ed Delaney? The mother of Big Ed Delaney. Mrs. Delaney. Okay. High fly right field. Upton heads into the corner. And there to make the play for the out. Jody Garrett on this Mother's Day. Cycle last night. Message from him today.
Center fielder Jody Garrett.
Hi, this is Jody Garrett of the Brewers. Just wanted to take some time and wish my mother, as well as all the mothers out there in the world, very happy Mother's Day to you. I didn't have a Mother's Day story before now. I do now. Happy Mother's Day.
I like that. Yeah, you do, son.
That's great.
But I believe his mother's name is Bridget. And Career versus Arizona. There's Jody Garrett.
Good friends with Amica Insurance, proud partners of the Boys and Girls Clubs in Metropolitan Phoenix.
And Jody Garrett's mom probably called him between innings and said, drive it in the gap. Don't bunt.
No, it's exactly right. Want to see if he will chase up. Instead, he misses in. Either way, it's a winner. 1-2 the count. Again.
How about Mrs. Alou, Felipe, Maddie, Jesus? Yep, we got it.
Ground ball to short. 0 for 2 today. Last night, our cool play, and it's brought to you by our good friends with Chaz Roberts Air Conditioning. Started with a homer, got the single, the triple, and then after a couple of outs in the 9th inning, the double. Boy, that was great. You could hear in that Brewers dugout somebody holler out, stay on second. But that was a legit double. He couldn't have taken it to a triple.
No.
There's the who's who in Milwaukee Brewers history.
Chad Moeller, former D-back. You expect it from Molitor, Yount. Well, who can forget Mike Hegan?
That one is outside. 2-0 the count. And now Jody Garrett. It's a good-looking graphic right there.
I thought it was.
2-0 the count.
Meanwhile, Ian Kennedy twirling a gem. Diamondback offense has been pretty much next to nil against this Brewer pitching staff. 2 runs the first game. Got beat 100-3 last night. And now being carved up so far by Chris Narveson. Ian Kennedy are going to have to keep this potent Brewer lineup at bay while the boys get their hitting boots on.
Well, and he's doing it. He has been great. Fielder drove a changeup out of here. That's all. Hard. It's a high fly ball. Well struck center field. Young going back. Young looking up. It gets off the balcony and it kicks away below the yellow line. They'll stop him at third. A 2-out triple. You never know which way it's going to go, so Young got as close as he could to giving it a look. It hit the balcony from where we sit, kicked to our right, and he got it back in.
Diamondbacks get a break. It does not get out of here. Just off the right side of that facing of the cage there. And a nice job by Chris Young tracking it down and getting it in before Corey Hart could circle the bases.
Remember, we saw a kick and a bounce and an inside the park homer earlier this year with Stephen Drew.
Well, that's a big break right there. Now all you have to do is retire the opposing pitcher, and you put a 0 up there. That's a home run just about anywhere else in the big leagues.
Well, just about anywhere else in the ballpark, too. A couple of feet here or there. Instead, the pitcher drives in a run. Boy, does that hurt. You can't slug a team in the gut more than that. Narveson with an RBI.
Boy, he is gonna be upset with himself. Yeah, just a fastball, belt high, middle in. Credit Narveson, he was waiting. He ripped it through the right side, helping himself. So he can't take advantage of the break he got off the bat of Corey Hart. And the Brew Crew doing it again.
So now Ricky Weeks. First career RBI to the backstop it goes. Snyder tried to play it on a backhand. So a wild pitch.
And that's just a case right there of a young pitcher just losing his poise a little bit after, as you mentioned, a slug to the gut.
One and 0 the count after the wild pitch. 2 outs. Breaking ball is outside. 2-0 the count to Ricky Weeks. The doubled was stranded back in the 3rd inning. Rounded out to 3rd in the 1st inning. Kennedy had held opponents to a 192 batting average with runners in scoring position. 2-1.
Good breaking ball there. Weeks was sitting on the fastball. All he can do is take that one.
So timely hits by opposing hitters had come few and far between, let alone to have the pitcher deliver that hit. He's really been able to, for a guy with just a handful of starts in the big leagues, this is 19, to lock down in these situations. Weeks off the end of the bat. Fly ball in the left center field. Boy, that hurt. You want to talk about delivering some pain? Chris Narvison's done it on the mound. Happy Mother's Day, one and all.
Plain old Wisconsin.
Whether you are in Arizona, California, or Wisconsin, glad to have you with us. What mom gave birth to the most professional baseball players? That's a very good question. Challenging for some. And I know a lot of you might have battled through it. Bridget
Delahanty.
Yeah, Bridget Delahanty, Ed, Frank, Jim, Joe, and Tom.
Never heard of any of them.
Here's Mark Reynolds.
One of the more pitiful trivia questions of the year.
Here's Mark Reynolds to lead it off. Change up and it's strike one. Inducted into the Hall of Fame, Ed was in 1945. Suffered a tragic death at 35 years old, Ed did. Swept over the Niagara Falls as
what?
That one is fouled off.
Are you kidding? He got in a barrel?
No. He was riding a train and the conductor threw him off. And As he came off the bridge, he ended up near the falls. And they're going down the falls. Big Ed.
The Hall of Famer.
That's quite a twist to that story. Yeah, that was officially a downer. Trivia question. Rest in peace, Ed. We're sorry we even brought up any of your pain.
Man, sounds to me like Ed might have had a snootful on the train ride.
Well, I think that's what occurred. Let that be a lesson to you, though, when traveling. The 1-2.
Hard to negotiate those falls of the St. Lawrence River after a night on the train.
2-2 the count. Tragic story. Over the top of a changeup. Narveson continues to carve up the Diamondbacks.
When did this guy become Tim Lincecum?
Want to remind everyone that with every time the Diamondbacks hit a home run, Fulton Homes donates $150 to the Central Arizona Mountain Rescue Association. That pitch is low. Well, you're guilty of it again, a pitcher or a hitter or somebody does something well, and you're dubbing him a poor man's Tim Lincecum. That's what you've called Narveson. The 1-0. High pop. Corey Hart heading shy of foul territory. He is there, and he makes the play for the out. So 2 outs here in the 5th inning. There was a single back in the 1st inning, and now the single, I think, has a little bit of significance. It was a weakly hit ground ball to the right side. Prince Fielder left the bag to make the play, turned and fed Narveson, and Upton beat it.
Well, Narveson missed the bag with his feet, or he probably would have gotten Justin Upton out, but he missed the bag. It went as a base hit. I mean, there has not been a hard hit ball yet off of Chris Narveson.
These Brewers, by the way, it's funny how their offense rolls. They have scored no runs to 3 runs, anywhere in that range, 14 times this year as it's fouled off. But they've also scored 8 or more 10 times, including 17 a couple of times last night, including an outing in which there was 20 runs. But right in the middle, that 5 or 6 run day, they just don't have
nothing.
Drew off the glove, running hard. Is it another infield hit? Both hits have been infield hits, but to be fair to Stephen Drew, he squared that ball up.
That's by far the best contact of the day off Chris Narveson. Just a rocket right back, 1 hop. Narveson can't quite make the play. Stephen Drew just runs way too well. Counsell had to stick it in his pocket. Now we'll bring up Chris Snyder. He's kind of been going through the doldrums lately, hadn't he?
Yeah, it's been a slow go when the calendar turned over. He is 2 for his last 18 with 10 strikeouts. So here's hoping maybe it warms up here. Facing a lefty. Driving the runner back, not a bad idea. Snyder was 0 for 3 with a walk and a strikeout last night. Both these pitchers going toe-to-toe, neither one of them with overpowering stuff today. Kennedy's topped out at 91 miles an hour. Narveson at 90. That is part of our Quest high-speed internet, high-speed pitch. Great partners, Quest. Both the Diamondbacks and Fox Sports Arizona. Breaking ball at dandy that he drops in there. Runs per game. Number 1, Milwaukee, 5.77. We've told you about the spikes that they have had offensively. Number 2, Arizona, 5.39. The score here, 2-0. 0-2.
Snyder's gotten a curveball for a strike, a changeup for a strike.
that unenviable spot of batting in the 8-hole with the pitcher behind you. It's kind of not an important point now when you're in the hole 0-2, though. As he puts that one on the ground. Craig is there, fires on over to Ricky Weeks. So the second single of the ball game is stranded.
I'm with the kids doing arts and crafts, teaching volleyball, signing autographs. AVP, our Good Sport of the Week. And we welcome you back. And today, as it is Mother's Day, and we're celebrating that, we're also sharing stories of breast cancer survivors. I'm here alongside Rose Suva. And Rose, happy Mother's Day.
Thank you. Thank you.
I know you as the mother of Tammy Suva, and of course she is Marty Tarr's wife, our director Marty. And so I want to ask you, though, first of all, about your fight with breast cancer. You were diagnosed a couple of years ago.
Actually, it'll be 4 years in June. Yes. And I discovered it myself. So early detection is the key.
And you're a nurse as well, right? So I guess one of the things is, as you said, awareness and early detection. And what was your struggle like? You had a double mastectomy, correct?
It was a very difficult struggle because I had 3 sisters who died before me from cancer. And so it was the most frightening thing of my life. And then to have to tell my children. And my husband, who had made me promise I would not do to him what my brothers-in-law went through with my sisters. So it was a horrible struggle at first, but I had a wonderful doctor, and everything is positive, and it all turned out for the good.
Certainly did. And 4 years later, how special is Mother's Day for you?
It is very special. It is very special because I'm seeing my grandchildren grow, and I'm seeing my children grow into adults, and it's very special. And I have a nice son-in-law like Martin.
And speaking of Marty, hopefully he's not stealing the show today because it is his birthday. So it is Mother's Day, and you're celebrating together. And you have his gift actually right over there.
Oh yeah, I have to buy a present for Martin. He deserves a lot more than that, having to put up with his Tammy. But Martin.
We won't let Tammy hear that.
Yeah, but he's a very nice. I couldn't ask for a nicer son-in-law.
Have any interesting stories? We know Marty very well. Worked with him for a long time. But what do you have as a mother-in-law? Anything?
Well, I really don't have anything bad on Martin. He's a good son-in-law. I met him, really got to know him when he had his leg operated on, and he didn't like the fact that I wouldn't give him the pain pills that he wanted every so often. So we got through that struggle, and he's been a gem ever since. Although I will not have him take care of me.
You actually did all that you've been through, and you were taking care of him.
Right. I don't know if he'd give me my pain pills. So, but he's a great guy, and we really love him. He's a great son, not just a son-in-law, but a son.
You guys have a terrific family. Rose, it's great to see you and be able to celebrate this Mother's Day with you.
Oh, you know what? It's when you hear that word cancer, it was such a horrible thing years ago, but now there is so much going on. And when my sister had breast cancer, her doctor back in '83 said, someday we will find a cure, and we are almost there.
All right, Rose, thanks so much. All right, and guys, as we've talked about today, Susan G. Komen Foundation, Major League Baseball, all working for a cure.
Good stuff, Jody, and thank you, and a blessed day certainly for that family and Marty's family. Meantime, on the diamond, Craig Counsell didn't mean to a check swing base hit, and then a little bit of little ball. Ryan Braun showing he can hit it off the scoreboard, but then hit it through an open hole. That was a gorgeous hit and run.
That was a beautiful thing right there. It just shows you the talent that Braun has. He's got the power, but he's also got the ability to do the little things well, as you just said. Prince Fielder going to step in with an opportunity to really put a hurt into these D-backs. The way Narvison's throwing the baseball, 4 or 5 runs might be too much to overcome, Darren. It's good to hear that Marty Tarr's gotten over his addiction.
0-1 the count to Prince Fielder. If you're looking for a double play ball, they just don't happen with Ian Kennedy on the mound. Has not rolled one up this year. Twice in his career he has rolled it up in 72 opportunities. Diamondbacks have 2 infield hits. The biggest hit for the Brewers, an RBI by pitcher Chris Narvison. Look at that. It takes a curveball, not interested. 1 ball and 1 strike the count to Fielder. Prince with a home run, jumped on a changeup back in the 2nd inning. He's got McGee waiting on deck. The 1-1. Outside corner. Goodness gracious. Talk about a little break there. Now if you're Kennedy, you get this call, you're thinking I might get a big strikeout.
That was a gorgeous pitch at the knees.
That was out though. He got a little help. The question then's become, do you go out there? Do you believe enough in your changeup to throw it? That's the pitch he homered against. Well, they were pitching out. The runner was going. He threw a strike. It was not caught. Didn't really affect the play at all. So really, there's no miscue. It just didn't look good.
And Snyder just didn't come up with the pitch. Boy, Braun, huge lead. Ian Kennedy just forgot all about him. I don't think Snyder would have had a chance anyway, but once the ball got away, that was it.
Was he hopping up for a pitch out? That's what I couldn't tell.
He might have been, yeah. Usually there's a meeting on the mound if there's a cross-up, and there really wasn't.
Then he just saw the runner hopped up early. Huge jump. Blocks up a breaking ball. 3-2 the count. Well, Fielder did homer. Let's see what happened here. I don't know. Maybe it was such a huge jump.
I think maybe Snyder might have thought he just might have had he saw the jump, and so he just stood up like it was almost like he was anticipating a pitch out. Whew.
Outfield plays Fielder a step or two the other way. Infield back. Both middle infielders on the grass. The 3-2. You bet he went around on a breaking ball. A huge strikeout there, Prince Fielder. Got him a little bit aggressive, managed to chase that breaking ball down. 34 times he's gone down on strikes this year.
I think the fastball in for the strikeout, his previous at-bat was on the mind of Prince Fielder, so he's speeding up to get to it. and he cannot lay off the breaking ball. And as you said, a big, big strikeout. And they're going to put McGee on and load the bases, trying to set up a double play with Greg Zahn on deck.
Two and 0 the count. Three and 0 as that one misses wide. With Zahn waiting, it's Zahn's opportunity now with the bases loaded. One out, 2-0 the score. Milwaukee doesn't ground into double plays only 17 times this year. They're looking to lift and separate all the time. Second lowest total in the National League. And Ian Kennedy doesn't roll up double plays, hasn't done it this year. So all that being said, you're just looking to maybe get an out somewhere. You'd love a pop-up somewhere. Let's see what happens. Well, how do you take that changeup?
And he did. Somehow, some way.
Brewers this year hit .406 with the bases loaded.
Goodness. Another change up, another miss. Now he's going to have to throw the fastball here, Darren. Now you're hoping that you can get it at the knees and still get the ground ball you're looking for. But, I mean, 90% sure that this is going to be a fastball. Now you just have to execute it and keep it at the knees. Try to get the ground ball.
Bases loaded, the 2-0. High 3-0. The Diamondbacks pitching staff has issued 8 bases loaded walks this year, the #1 total in Major League Baseball. That's only 78 pitches. Unless we don't know about something, you don't think he's hitting the wall here. Three and 0. 3-0 swinging, popped it up.
Unbelievable. Thank you very much.
Wow.
Greg Zahn. Ken Maka got to be fit to be tied. Greg Zahn has got 1 home run this year and 12 RBIs, and he got the 3-0 green light.
Christmas just came on Mother's Day.
Oh, my goodness. I can't believe what I just saw.
Well, now if you're Ian Kennedy, here we go.
I'm sorry, it's just Greg Zahn is just not near the offensive player to be getting a 3-0 green light in that situation.
Suddenly he finds the strike zone. You bet that'll give you new life if you're Kennedy.
All due respect, he's a veteran, but offense is not what has kept him in the big leagues. It's his catching and his ability to call the game. Wow. Well, if you're Ian Kennedy, you're sending him a Mother's Day gift.
The 0-1. Just off the plate. 1-1 the count. But that green light is extended from the manager, correct? Through the third base coach?
I'm guessing yes.
So Maka and his staff making the decision to give the green light to that catcher. Outside, 2-1 the count. Well, we can look back if he loses Garrett, or especially if he drives in some, and say, well, that was the ball game. Or if he gets out of this mess and the Diamondbacks win it, that was the ball game. Either one.
You're exactly right.
It's hanging in the balance right now. The 2-1. Bouncing ball, 2-2 the count. It's foul.
Came with the changeup that time, Darren, on a 2-1 count. Executed it nicely to even it.
That is the 5th time the Brewers have swung 3-0 this season. One by Prince, one by Edmonds, and two by McGee, batting 8th, so opening up the zone. But it doesn't matter if you don't get Garrett. Bases loaded, the 2-2, popped it up, and it's foul. He was late on a fastball. And again, Milwaukee has driven in 39 runs with the bases loaded this year, #1 in the big leagues. So they feel their oats. They have a swagger in this situation. I think they rolled the dice one too many times.
I think you're right on that. Ryan Braun, Prince Fielder, they can go ahead and have the green light in those situations. They've proven over their careers that they can handle those situations.
I'd love the crowd a little more right now in this situation. A chance to really get out of a mess. Bouncing ball, LaRoche is there. Thanks to the gift from the Milwaukee Brewers and some crafty pitching by Ian Kennedy. A 3-0 swing and a ground ball out. He's momentum. Maybe it occurs, maybe not. Chris Narveson says, I have been stifling any sort of momentum that these Diamondbacks have managed all game long. He has been absolutely incredible in the ball game. Any sort of trouble he gets in, he gets right out of. And the trouble has been really not worth mentioning. And he has driven in the second run of the game with 2 outs and a runner at third. Ian Kennedy to hit for himself here. This is where,
why not?
Managers in the National League have to at least stop and think for a moment.
Now, I got to give this kid an opportunity to go back to the mound after what he just pulled off last inning. I'm sure he's up there. I'm sure he's told Greg Zahn, thank you so much for swinging 3-0.
1-2 the count.
Laid off it nicely, didn't he?
Yeah, you bet. That's a tough pitch to deal with. This team has gone down the tracks a lot with the bases loaded and issued walks more than anybody else. Nice to see them get a break as that one is fouled off.
Voting is now open for the 2010 All-Star Game in Anaheim. Send your D-backs to the All-Star Game. Vote early, vote often, vote now at dbacks.com. Have you voted?
Oh, I've been voting. I've been voting for Kelly
all of them.
Johnson.
Every one of them.
Oh, vote for all of them?
Yeah. I mean, every position full of Diamondbacks.
The 2-2. Fouled back. I don't know if I'm supposed to say this, but I like to vote for the best players at their position.
You don't vote for
Not every. I wish I could. I wish every player that I covered was #1. But that guy is the best second baseman in the National League. He gets my vote.
At this point.
That's why I'm voting now. I'm voting early. Like you said, vote early.
We don't want to see guys like Pujols there.
Well, we do.
Oh, okay. You're right. So, you and I both vote for the deserving guys.
Yeah, but you go to dbacks.com, you can vote for whoever you want.
Meanwhile, Ian Kennedy's putting a nice at-bat on Narveson. You can go right there and vote.
Look at that. At Artie Moreno's house there. Look at it. Got the hats outside. We went to a lot of games in that ballpark, you and I as kids.
Going up in Tustin, about 10 minutes away.
The 3-2. How about that at bat?
Wow. That's a big league effort. You don't pinch hit for that guy, Darren Sutton. You let him go up there and draw a leadoff walk.
I was thinking about it. I'll tell you, I was, this is the be honest inning, I think. I was thinking about it. A.J. Hinch rewarded, and he wants to send it back out to pitch. I don't think Hinch thought that would occur, but he wants to send it back out.
Yeah, it's either that or, go to a struggling bullpen right now.
Now, that's the other point that's valid. Maybe the most valid point of the entire discussion. Breaking ball is high. Well, let's see, 78 pitches for the left-hander. And his last outing, he threw 95 at L.A. Prior to that, 102. So even though he's a converted reliever, there's no danger. 1-1.
You can see Kelly Johnson was thinking tie ball game there. He was trying to hook that ball in the seats.
Well, you have got to cash in when a team like the Brewers hand you a gift like that. You've got to cash in.
It's a momentum change. That one got him right in the ear, didn't it?
Well, that doesn't look comfortable at all. Ouch.
I think he's fine. Looks like he got him right in the ear. Ow.
So Kelly, 1-2 the count.
He's had a tough go against Narveson, but that can all be forgotten quickly. If a mistake comes in the middle of the zone to Kelly Johnson. He hung in there on a good breaking ball. Very good breaking ball.
One and two. Hanging around. Now it was a 9-pitch at bat by the pitcher, Ian Kennedy. Kennedy knows what it's like. Don't forget, in his last outing, when he had Roy Oswalt, put a 12-pitch at bat on him?
And then got a base hit.
And then reached with a hit. And they talked about it the next day. Kennedy said, my goodness, talk about taking some gas out of your tank. The 1-2. Bouncing ball to fielder. The throw on the mark, and that's all they'll get. So they get the lead runner. Pitcher is off the base pads. Fielder's choice ground out. Johnson reaches, so he is 0 for 3, even though he is on. He's not doing what he wants to. He is very composed, but he's got a little frustration showing. He doesn't show it very often.
I just showed it there. Well, you just got to find a way to change that momentum, Darren. I know it's easier said than done off a guy that's got the stuff like Narveson does today, but after Ian Kennedy did what he did in the top of the 6th inning, it is up to these hitters now to take care of their pitcher.
Connor takes a pitch that is low. The Diamondbacks, with that walk being erased, Kennedy is the walk. They've collected 19 walks over the last 5+ games. None of the 19 walks have scored.
Wow. None? Nice job there by Connor, laying off a couple of change-ups. Now he sits with a 2-0 count, a fastball count.
Let's see what he does with his fastball count. Wow,
threw him another change-up and missed. That's the chance you take when you do go with something off speed. You risk putting a couple of guys on base versus via the base on balls. And you're bringing up the heart of the order, Upton, LaRoche, and Reynolds with a possibility. Taken all the way.
Down the middle, 3-1. No 3-0 green light for that man. And even if you gave it to him, he wouldn't take it. Zahn behind the plate 11 times in his career has swung 3-0. He's got 1 hit.
I'm still puzzled that he was swinging at all.
The 3-1. Ball 4. So a chance for a Diamondbacks walk to score. Again, that hasn't been occurring very much. A man striding towards home plate that with one swing of the bat can drive in that walk. And that's Justin Upton. Infield single in the first inning. Popped up the first in the fourth inning. But Rick Peterson makes a visit to the mound. Todd Coffey, tough, hard-throwing sinker ball specialist. He's had a great year. He's getting ready.
And these are his first couple of warm-up tosses, so he's not near ready yet. So Rick Peterson going to come out, put a hold on his pitcher, and have a talking to with him. Oh yeah, there you go, Carr.
Well, it's been a while.
Yeah,
well, if I've told you, folks, we need more signs at the ballpark. I mean, we really, really do. We need more signs. By the way, if you want to hop online, FoxSportsArizona.com. What's your sign box? Click on it on the D-backs page. Send us a picture of your sign. We need more at the games, please. And the Diamondbacks, they need more runs.
Yes.
Justin takes a breaking ball, a late call of strike, and he doesn't like it.
Boy, that ball was up.
Johnson and Jackson on second and first, respectively. Chases a changeup away. Well executed pitch, 0-2.
Justin just a little bit too firm with that swing. Just a lousy single's all you need in this situation.
7 for his last 14 with runners in scoring position. On the road trip, in this situation, it was line drives back to the middle a lot. This time it's a line drive, foul ball down the line. You felt it foul when he hit it. You hoped it would stay fair.
It was a rope. It was a curve ball down. Justin goes down and he rips it down the third base line. Just a few feet foul. That's a tough break for the Diamondbacks. Drafts have no vocal cords.
And so Upton with this opportunity, no balls and 2 strikes to count. Do it for Mom, Justin. Mommy Vaughn is in attendance. The Mom's at the ball game today. The 0-2. Inside. 1-2 the count. That's a great 0-2 pitch.
That's the cut fastball that Narveson possesses. Upton wasn't biting, though.
He's been good again.
That young man has been terrific again today.
Fly ball right, had him reaching on that dastardly changeup again. Runners tag, and the lead runner keeps moving. It was a bluff by Jackson, so runners on first and third now. Upton with a single and 3 trips.
Here's the changeup again. Justin chases it. It's a few inches off the plate, but he just can't lay off of it. A routine fly ball to right for the second out.
So now Adam.
Who's going to get the big hit? Who's going to be the guy? Somebody on this offense has got to take the bull by the horns.
In the fourth inning, he just missed extra bases. Hit a ball right underneath that balcony that Jody Garrett hauled in. Up and away. Talked about using the pink bat to honor Mom, the cause of breast cancer awareness. Made it clear to all of us, I do it out of respect for that. I don't do it because I hit well with it. I haven't gotten a hit yet with it.
Well, probably should use a different bat in this situation.
1-1 the count. This Arizona club has driven in 69 runs with 2 outs. That's number 1 in Major League Baseball. Chris Narveson knows how good it feels to drive in a run with 2 outs.
Well, how big is that run now? That's what a curveball. No chance there for Adam LaRoche. 2 walks in this inning. Diamondbacks only have 2 hits this afternoon. Got to make an opposing pitcher pay if he's going to walk people.
The 1-2. Just missed.
And that's something the Diamondbacks have not been doing, Darren. Of the most recent 19 walks, none of them scored as that one's down and away.
Last walk to score May 3rd in a game at home. Ground ball, base hit right field. It's a 2-1 game now, piecing their way back in. He stayed back, and finally picked up his 20th RBI of the year. And his first career hit, according to Adam, with a pink bat.
Well, congratulations. Probably should get the ball for that pink bat base hit, but what a good piece of hitting right there. He stayed on the breaking ball and drove it past a diving Ricky Weeks. And Ken Maka, he's going to make a pitching change. But boy, did his left-hander do him very proudly here this afternoon, Chris Narveson.
Coffee was warming, heavy sinker. Big fella going to come storming out of that bullpen in a moment.
Here he comes.
We'll keep an eye on it. We'll show you what it looks like when he arrives on scene when we come back here at Chase Field.
Here he comes.
Boy, that's the difference in the game. His 2-out RBI a couple of innings back. Do very well. Part of a double switch, by the way. Coffey, the pitcher, as you can see his numbers, he's been dependable. This bullpen has had a lot of holes in it. Coffey and Villanueva are not holes in it. 1 home run only. He has inherited 6 runners. Half of them have scored. And Jim Edmonds now bats 9th. He will bat 2nd in the inning and is in center field. Mark Reynolds.
Mark Reynolds happy to see anybody but Chris Narveson out there. He had struck out a couple of times. Now he's going to face the hard-throwing Todd Coffey. Strike 1, 94 miles an hour.
It's hard and it's moving a lot. It's a good run. That one a little more flat, but he'll get good sink at 92 to 94.
Mark with that puncher's chance every time he steps in the box.
Outside, 1-1 the count to Reynolds. Struck out twice. He was 2 for 4 with a homer yesterday. The 1-1. Slow breaking ball, popped it up. Backed off velocity, got him way out of front. It was up in the zone though. Presented by our good friends with Sanderson Ford, Lincoln Mercury, and Volvo too. Be 2-1 the score, top of the 7th inning. And how have you been responding to our text poll? Well, you obviously think the best Mother's Day gift, you think right along with Adam LaRoche, would be a shotgun. Flowers. So I made a big mistake this morning. Flowers for my wife. Breakfast in bed. Those of you that did that. Jody's little ones, even though it was plastic breakfast. Nope, Adam LaRoche, all of you agree with him that a shotgun would be the best Mother's Day present because if you're a hunter, now this really only applies to those of you that are outdoorsmen. If you're a hunter, then you could borrow it, use it, take it for your own. As that is a wide pitch of the zone, not by much, 1-1 the count. 2-1 the score. Corey Hart hit a ball that looked like it was sailing out of here. Ended up as a triple. As he takes a changeup away, that was back in the 5th inning, but we were all saying that fortunate that it didn't go out as it hit the balcony just to the right of the yellow line down below it. Because the pitcher was hitting next. Well, the pitcher drove him in with 2 outs.
And that's the difference right now. Kennedy got out of a big scrape in the 6th inning. Momentum changed. Diamondbacks put a run on the board. Crept a little closer. Now they're going to have to go against that Brewer bullpen. Against the rest of the National League, it struggled. But the Diamondbacks have done nothing against it in this series.
Gives that one a ride. Young chasing. Still going back. Chris Young's got room. So pitch number 89. Now to 90 goes that pitch count, and there is one away.
He should be just fine at 90 pitches.
And he is. He has gone to 111. He has gone over 100 5 of 6 times.
I know that century mark is the kind of the golden number as far as pitch counts or whatever. I think most major league starters should easily be able to get past 100 pitches up to more like 115, 120.
What does he look like? I mean, that's really what pitching coaches and managers will tell you. You could have a guy that looks like he's done after 65. The scoreboard will tell you when he's done in that case. Or you'll have a guy that still looks strong at 113. See Ubaldo Jimenez.
Livan Hernandez, he'll throw 100 pitches through 3 innings, and he's just getting warmed up. Okay, now I'll go to pitching. He can go to 160. Good pitch there. His stuff is still down. It's still crisp.
I'm thinking that's what you touched on there. It's what you're looking for.
And like we talked about it, A.J. Hinch's. Well, do I want to go and stay with Ian Kennedy, or do I want to go with a bullpen that's struggled recently, especially against the Brewers? You want a high fastball.
Get it up.
They got it and got the strikeout. I'd say he's still fresh, wouldn't you, Darren?
Very fresh. You don't want to miss away and down because he'll hit that pitch out the other way. You have to get it up in the zone, and he really is fresh enough to hit his spot.
Second baseman Ricky Weeks.
It looks so good to him because he loves that pitch away. Boy, he is just trying to keep that momentum rolling ever since the big break. If you weren't with us, Greg Zahn, bases loaded, 3-0 the count, 1 out. Kennedy really on the ropes, maybe about to hit the showers if he walks in a run.
I don't think you're right. It kept him in the game, and it took the momentum to the third base dugout.
He took a swing at it, 3-0, popped it up to his counterpart, the catcher. And then they got Garrett on a ground out. Bases loaded, no one scored. 1-1 the count. The slugging second baseman Ricky Weeks with a homer in the opener of this series. And it was a big homer. Out there by the walkway out by the Fatburger restaurant. As that one is low and in, 2-1. Former first-round pick of the Brewers out of Southern University, where all he did was win NCAA batting titles year after year at Southern. The 2-1. Boy, taking that changeup.
That was a tough pitch right there, Kennedy. He threw that where he wanted to throw it, but give credit to Weeks. He was able to lay off of it. Now he's got a 3-1 count. Be careful here. Counsell on deck, but Counsell's not a home run threat. This guy is. Oh, he was careful. He threw him another changeup, Darren. And Weeks was trying to hit the scoreboard. Now you might be able to zip the fastball by him.
What's it going to be at home, folks? What do you think?
Let's see what Chris Snyder wants. He wants another changeup.
Got him.
He got him. his kick and pitch. And he's doing very well today. What do they need to do for him, Darren?
They need to get him some runs. Somebody kick that bat rack. He's throwing 3-1, 3-2 changeup. Support him. Do it now. Pink bat. Who cares what kind of bat? Let's go, boys. And Edwin Jackson. And just like it would be a good day today if the Diamondbacks could rally, come back, and beat these Milwaukee Brewers. Gracie, it's always a good day when these Diamondbacks
beat the Dodgers.
I figured you'd say that. We've worked together now for a couple of weeks. I think we understand one another. As we move along to the 7th inning, middle of the 7th now, and the Diamondbacks seeing what they can do, a one-run game.
Yeah, it's winning time now. This is what Matt Williams and I used to call it's winning time. We've had enough of this. We've hung around. Now it's time to go win it.
Ian Kennedy's had a fine game. Mom is here. Terry, Jody Jackson has found Ian's mom.
Well, yes, and Terry Kennedy is also here with her mom, Lupe, who's here. But, Terry, why is this day so special? Obviously, you get to watch your son pitch. He's pitching a terrific game, but it's the first time on a Mother's Day for you, right?
Absolutely. I counted the days to make sure that, and I said, yep, he's pitching on Mother's Day. I have to make it because I haven't seen him in 4 years since he's been drafted.
This is obviously a year that's shaping up very nicely for him and his chance with the Diamondbacks. And the way he's pitching today, just your thoughts on his performance.
Oh, I'm just so proud of him. He's a wonderful young man. He has a wonderful life, and I'm just proud to be here. Thank you.
And then, you know, you mentioned that it's nice for him to be on the West Coast. You live in the Los Angeles area, and you'll be attending a lot of games, I would imagine, right?
Oh, absolutely. I've seen more Diamondback games than I saw his whole pro career, so I'm really excited.
And then finally, you know, I know as a mom, especially of a player that ends up playing professional ball, what was it like all those years? When did he start playing ball?
Oh, he started T-ball at 4 years old. When I found out at preschool, everybody had baseball hats. So we've been really working hard, and he just loves it. He hates to lose, so we need to get some runs.
Yeah, she's going to get focused on the game, but, you know, terrific job, Terry. Thank you so much.
Thank you.
All right, and rooting for a win here for son Ian.
Good stuff, and Mom in town, Mom visiting. He has done a great job for Mom and for all these Diamondbacks fans. Let's see. I tell you, Terry couldn't have said it better. Let's get some runs. That's exactly right. Waves over the top of a slider, 1-2 the count. Young, Drew, Snyder. And I want to imagine at that point, if that's rolling on, they will go ahead and hit for Ian Kennedy. It depends upon the situation. One and two the count. Little number, it's foul. Meantime, in the Bay Area, Dallas Braden, pitcher for these Oakland A's, with 1 out in the 9th inning, is throwing a perfect game at one of the best teams in the game, Tampa Bay. 4-0 the score, 1 out in the 9th inning. Mark Burley with the last perfecto last year against Tampa Bay.
Braden's the one that doesn't like A-Rod.
He'll be known for something else now. Boy, that's a sinker you just can't do anything with.
Yeah, very fortunate just to even nick and foul. That ball was a good foot outside.
2 outs now in the Bay Area at Oakland Coliseum. And 4-0, Oakland leads Tampa Bay. Braden tossing a perfect game. That one is low, 2-2 the count. Trying to reach, base runners needed. Bouncing ball, that'll do it. And boy, that's what you do against a tough sinker ball pitcher. You try to pull him, you're toast. Instead, he put coffee next to his toast.
Oh, he sure did. That was a beautiful piece of hitting. Don't try to do too much with it. Right back where it came from, up the box. Nicely done there by Chris Young. Now speed on the base paths. And that's the tying run. Rusty Riley's. Looks like he's going to grab a bat for somebody shortly.
Drives him back. Tying run is on. Drew with a strikeout and a single. We're keeping an eye on things in Oakland as well. Stephen Drew drives it to right field. Going back as hard as over his head and off the wall. Young's racing on around. Porter says stop. No, then he kicks him on down. Now there's trouble. Young is in a rundown. Drew will trail behind. Drew now heads back to second. Another rundown. Let's see what occurs. Porter was stopping, then sent him on around. Young ended up in between. So instead of either having those runners on second and third or run scoring, there is one away with a runner on third.
Well, unfortunately, Bo Porter's going to regret this one. He is a very good third base coach, but there was a mistake made there.
So now a visit to the mound.
Yeah, Chris Young could have scored easily. He could have scored easily. Bo Porter was holding him up. But Stephen Drew knew that Chris Young could have scored easily, so he was trying to make a triple out of it. But Chris Young was already held up. And that is a tough break. You can see the hands up there, but Stephen Drew, he just knows that Chris Young can score, but Stephen Drew, he didn't have his head up as well. So a couple of mistakes there hurt the Diamondbacks. Brewers going to bring the infield in. Chris Snyder going to hit for himself in this situation with the tying run on third. Boy.
2-1 the score. Well, as frustrating as it might be for Young, Porter, and Drew, and all of those wearing red, got to plate this run. There's one out and a runner on third. That responsibility right now is for Chris Snyder. The 0-1. High. 1-1 the count. We'll show you the video in a moment, but Dallas Braden has tossed a perfect game in Oakland. Keeping our focus here on this ball game, he has tossed a perfecto at the Tampa Bay Rays. A.J. Hinch locked into his club. Infield in, runner at third. Outside, 2-1 the count. Two to 1 the score. Snyder, 16 runs batted in. The 2-1. Right back to the screen, Snyder goes. Two and two the count. Trying to support that man. His spot's due up next. Ian Kennedy. Rusty Ryle has a bat.
His day's going to be done. Now he just hopes he can at least have a tie game once he is done. It's going to be up to Chris Snyder to provide it.
Just got a piece of that sinking fastball.
He left that one in the middle of the plate. Snyder able to just tick it foul. He's got his own signs.
We need more of those.
Glad you finally said that. Chris Snyder trying to lock in, focus. Huge situation with the infield in.
Snyder will step out.
A little cat and mouse now between Coffey and Snyder. Well, that was a good fastball there at 97 miles an hour. Once again, Snyder able to hang around. That's all part of survival, Darren. Sometimes these guys throw some unhittable pitches up there, and if you can find a way just to fight it off, get another pitch, you might get the mistake you need, and then you can do some damage. He spoiled a dandy pitch there by Coffey.
Two. Bouncing ball, foul ball. Boy, that would have done it.
That time he got a slider from Coffey, and it just hung. Snyder just a smidgen out in front.
A couple of seasons ago, Snyder with an at-bat every 5.8 RBIs came across. Or vice versa, I should say. The best catcher in that category in the game. The 2-2. Just missed the corner.
That time he tried to come in on Snyder. He came in a little too far. Watch the late run. Too far in. Been a good battle between these two.
Rusty Ryle waits on deck. The 3-2. Again, pounds it into the dirt. Ian Kennedy's first two starts of the year, he had an ERA of 8.68. In the 5 starts that have followed, the ERA is 2.08. That's how good he has been.
And he is hoping upon hope that Chris Snyder can Give him a bit of a gift here on Mother's Day. Little long ball.
With his mom in attendance, I'm with you. Pitch number 10 in this at-bat, about to come home. Ground ball, foul ball.
Oh, he missed by just inches that time. Frustrating.
The 3-2. Walked it.
Pretty doggone good at bat, wouldn't you say?
11 pitch at bat ends up in a walk. And now Rusty Ryle.
Number 4, Rusty Ryle.
Did not find out that he made this Diamondbacks club until the day before the season started.
Just hours before the season started. We're going to get a visit from Rick Peterson. Watch that right hand. It'll go right to the shoulder. There it is.
The Diamondbacks this year have one victory when they score 4 runs or fewer. One. They can score some runs. One of the best offensive clubs in baseball. Stetter just caught back to the big leagues. He's the lefty. They called him back up. Villanueva is the righty. And he's just tough this year.
Just so difficult to sit around all day for a couple or 3 hours and then get called into this kind of a situation. Rusty Ryle, well, he's been good at it so far this year. He's going to have to be real good here.
5 for 11 as a pinch hitter this season. 8 for 24 in his career. 1 pinch hit RBI in his career.
Good slider there to start the at-bat. Go-ahead run on first base and Chris Snyder, but also the double play in order. So Rusty Ryle going to have to get it to the outfield somehow, some way.
The 0-1. Good
Boy,
pitch. It's in.
Hounded it in there, but he missed.
One ball, 1 strike to count. High pop over the infield. Fielder is there. That won't do it. So runners are remaining on first and third. And Ryle comes up short.
Frustrating at bat there. He got an elevated fastball, something he could do some damage with, but he came up empty by popping it up. And we're going to have a pitching change now. Kelly Johnson's going to have to face a lefty, I would imagine.
Stetter has been warming in the bullpen. Mitch Stetter. We will step aside here at Chase Field. The Diamondbacks trying to cash back in, get back into this ballgame. Rays. Mark Burley tossed the last perfecto against Tampa Bay last July, and of course it was May, but it was 2004 when the Diamondbacks' Randy Johnson tossed a perfect game in Atlanta.
Well, congratulations to Dallas Braden, and we're going to hope to congratulate Kelly Johnson after this at-bat, because he's going to step in against the lefty Stetter, the side-wheeling lefty. Who's going to be the hero, Darren Sutton?
Well, you hope it's somebody wearing red, not today's starting pitcher who drove in the key run, Narveson, for Milwaukee. So far, he's the hero.
Yeah, right now, the out on the base paths. Earlier in this inning, took what could have been an easy couple or 3-run inning, and is turning it into nothing so far unless something magical off the bat of Kelly Johnson.
1 ball and 1 strike to count. Kelly hits a high drive center field, but it's an easy chance. That's come up empty. Ouch. Ball, if you're the Milwaukee Brewers, you have the bases loaded. You're looking to do big damage. You have a pitcher about to exit the game. A 3-0 count. And then that. That's the catcher. That's the veteran defensive catcher, Greg Zahn. Well, the inning came to an end. Now, if you're the Diamondbacks, you're thinking, now we're going to cash in an inning later. Indecision on the base pads. Held up, then sent home. A run down, Drew finally an out, and that man standing at third, Chris Young, would never leave.
Well, when you're struggling as a squad, you start finding ways to possibly lose ball games, and that's a new way to find right there. Indecision on the base paths. But you still got 2 whacks at it left. But right now, Esmeling Vasquez is going to come in. He's going to try to hold these Brewers down. He's going to go through Counsell, Braun, and Fielder to do it.
Good work in his 7 outings, as you can see, as he paints the inside corner. He had 1 outing at L.A. where he went 1 inning, gave up 3 earned runs. Otherwise, he hasn't given up anything in the other 6. And the refinement has been, as we've told you, fastball changeup only. I'll be surprised if you see a slider. Throws the fastball in, though. 2-1 the count to Craig Counsell. Two runs, 6 hits, no errors for the Brewers. A run on 5 hits and no errors for Arizona. Great ground ball, diving play, LaRoche. Feed Vasquez covering, 1 out.
Another terrific play by first baseman Adam LaRoche. Diving to the left side. Never gets in a hurry and just throws a strike to Vasquez to make a really tough play look rather easy. And that is a very difficult play. 1 big out.
Well, here now, with the stuff that we're talking about, if in fact you do eliminate the slider, it's a challenge against Braun. Tempting to want to throw a slider to this hitter. Let's see how they attack it. 1-0 the count. Ian Kennedy was great today.
Again. Yeah, Ryan Braun is a guy that a slider is a good pitch to him, but not Vasquez's slider.
That's why it doesn't exist much anymore.
He is a very good fastball hitter, but when you throw 97, you still got to throw your fastball. That was the changeup, missed badly with it.
2-0 the count to Ryan. These innings, we hammer this home to you fans. This is just as important as a setup, man, if you want to win this game. 3-0. You come out here and give up 2-3 runs, that's the ball game.
Yeah, I love your analogy. It's like you're the closer. You have to put a 0 on to save the ball game. You give up anything here, that's just asking too much of your offense in the late.
This is a guy that may be green right here, 3-0. Takes over the inside corner, and as you said, like former big leaguer Paul O'Neill, doesn't like any call that's a called strike, even on 3-0. And we say it with respect because he's a friend of show, Ryan Braun. But he doesn't think anything he takes is a strike. Gracie likes to call him poor man's Paul O'Neill. The 3-1. 3-2.
No, Paul O'Neill wasn't as good as this kid. Paul O'Neill was a champion for the Yankees.
You bet.
But numbers for numbers, not even close to Ryan Braun's.
That man waits on deck. Well, he had to talk him into a fastball there. Snyder nodding. I need that one. I need a fastball. So he throws it 3-2. And it's fouled off.
97 miles an hour. Nothing wrong with that fastball.
Chris gave him that sign. Vasquez went to shake it off. He gave it to him again. Said, I need a good fastball here.
Nope. You're going to throw this one.
Going back away with the heat. On 3-2. Boy, he just beat him with it.
Good pitch. He just went right after him. Belt tied down the middle. Braun, I'll tell you what, he has got a quick bat through the zone. That's why he can hit it so doggone far. The hammer.
What does he throw him here? 3-2. It's a fastball and it's a ground ball.
Beautiful fastball right at the knees.
All right, now it gets interesting. 3 of those in a row. Do you think about going to that changeup?
I stay with the fastball. I'm a big believer in your best pitch, and his best pitch, I think, is his fastball. Let's see what Snyder wants. He wants that fastball. He's thinking right with us.
Can't get to it, not yet. All right, that's 4 fastballs in a row. Again?
Not a bad time for it now. Would be not a bad time for the changeup.
3-2, 1 out. One of the game's most dangerous hitters has not handled your fastball 4 consecutive times.
But you've got him sped up.
He shook off the changeup. He shook it off the changeup, and he's throwing the fastball. 3-2. Fastball, base hit, center field.
I love it when I'm right.
And so Ryan Braun,
First baseman,
he can just flat out hit. That's what it is. He's just a great hitter that put just a professional at bat on the youngster Vasquez.
the pitcher, though, has to believe in what he throws as he fires it over. You've got to believe it. Here's what happened. Watch him. I want a changeup. No? Okay, fastball.
Snyder was thinking with me. Vasquez wasn't.
But it's ultimately that man's decision.
That's true.
He's got to execute it. We talk about that a lot. The guy behind the plate does an awful lot of homework, studies, and prepares. Watch these hitters throughout the evening or the afternoon, as is the case. But he still is only suggesting.
That's true. Yeah, he's kind of like your agent. Catcher's like your agent. He can suggest, and he can advise. But at the end of the day, the decision is yours. Do you want to sign for this amount of money? Do you want to play for this team or this team?
Change up outside, 1-1 the count. Prince homered back in the second inning. He homered on a changeup off of Ian Kennedy. He has since struck out looking on a fastball in and swinging on a breaking ball in the dirt.
Paying a lot of attention to Ryan Braun. And the more attention you give to Ryan Braun, the less attention you're giving to Prince Fielder, who's in the box. And that's the guy that can hurt you. You've already had your chance against Braun. He's over there. Now you need to bear down and get Fielder.
Change up, Ian. 2-1 the count to Prince. I'll have a quick conversation with Braun at first. He does have 7 stolen bases without being caught.
I think he wants to keep that hole open with LaRoche holding him on. I think he wants to leave that hole right there open. A lot of room to pull the ball through the right side. Not that pitch. Goodness. About as good as you can do it on the corner.
Prince loads that back leg, awaits a 2-2. Braun stays put outside, overthrew a fastball. You can see Vasquez mimicking, as if to say, I almost threw that one sidearm. Using that pink bat, he's already homered with a Mother's Day bat. He hasn't taken it out of his hands since. There goes Braun. Fielder fouls it back to the screen. So now we find ourselves again after this fastball.
That was a very good fastball. It was outside, but he was able to scrape it foul and try again.
So now what? Fielder digs in. What will he see?
I like the fastball middle in. Try to come in if you can. Fielder hadn't liked the ball inside today. And I think with that amount of velocity, you can get him. away with it again. Fielder was tardy.
This is how Braun started facing off against the Vasquez fastballs. And he got a little more gas in his tank, then a little bit more. And then he hit a single right back through the box. So what does he throw now? 3-2 again.
A huge lead for Braun. Just huge.
Here he goes. Here comes the pitch. Another fastball and another late swing.
Well, they're really making Vasquez work. Braun and now Fielder.
22 pitches in this inning. Fielder about to see his 9th pitch. Braun saw 10. Braun's been taken off every time. 3-2. They've been all fastballs. Here he goes. Here's the pitch. A changeup. It's called ball 4 in. Threw him a changeup. 3-2. And he walked it.
Pitch track had it for a strike. Unfortunately for the Diamondbacks, C.B. Buckner, the home plate umpire, had it for a ball. So now Vasquez trying desperately to keep this at a 1-run game.
So now looking to get it on the ground. Heilman warms. Fouls that one back. Bounces around up here on press row. So 0-1 the count. They're playing back behind Fielder. Exerting a little more energy around the second base bag, trying to make sure Braun stays close. Boy, the secondary lead everything for Braun here. If you get a little Texas Leaguer somewhere. He threw the slider, the first one of the inning. It probably should go back in his pocket.
I was going to say. Go ahead and just keep that right where it is as your very much so third best pitch. Try to get you a ground ball with that good tailing, sinking fastball.
The 1-1. Change of pace. Way out front. Well, that was a dandy.
Sure was. Good time to break that out. McGee, no chance there.
.58 double play opportunities in his career, just 4 rolled up. It's below league average, that number. But still, his stuff says ground ball if he's down there. The 1-2. Popped up, threw him a changeup. He just protected in the end. So we'll do it again. 2-2 the count. I don't know how he's doing it. Doing a great job trying to stay positive and communicate. Teaching. Today his pitcher should be proud. The 1-2. Drilled to right field and deep. Up to the head into the corner. That one is out of here. And there's your story of the importance of the relief pitcher when his team is within a run. Because now his team is within 4 runs. And the Diamondbacks bullpen continues to struggle mightily.
All on the tail end of that lost bottom of the 7th inning. Vasquez comes on. A couple of great at-bats in front of him from Fielder and Braun. He gets a fastball up with 2 strikes and out over the plate. And McGee just kills it the other way. And like most good teams, Brewers are finding a way to put the Diamondbacks away late.
That one drilled deep right. Upton will watch it sail out. And unfortunately, another meltdown.
Well, we heard A.J. Hinch talking about it after the game last night with frustration. Once these guys start to pound you, they have no way of stopping the bleeding. Fastball right down the middle again. Way out of here goes Zahn. And another ugly inning for a Diamondback reliever.
6-1. That young man smiling. Mom brought him to the game, brought him to the game. There are some moms watching us at home because they know their husbands are at the ball game with their youngsters, and they're maybe catnapping right now. Having a quiet day at home. For all you sacrifice, there's a Pops. Moms may be at home looking on, or maybe out in the sun, floating in the pool. Well, when they speak of, as Aaron Heilman comes on, when they speak of Jody Garrett and his cycle in the history of the Milwaukee Brewers, and they'll always talk about it now, they better talk about this man. Because with 2 outs last night, this man, instead of having things end and go to the bottom of the ninth, this man, Joe Inglet, he reached. And when he reached, that man got to hit. And so his at bat last night allowed Garrett a 3rd shot, and that's rare in a ball game when you've already gotten the first 3. A 3rd, or better said, a 6th plate appearance to go for the cycle.
And it's not very often you see a guy that's hitting in the number 7 slot get 6 at bats. He's not on this time as Heilman rings him up with a fastball in.
And he hits for Jody Garrett, by the way.
Yeah.
Or Jody Garrett's slot. They had moved the pitcher down there. So yesterday we had a cycle. Today we had a perfect game in Oakland. Dallas Braden tossing a perfect game of the Tampa Bay Rays. 1-0 the count. Boy, what a disappointing turn of events over the last couple of innings.
No, without a doubt. From the missed opportunity in the bottom of the 7th inning where the Diamondbacks could have easily taken the lead, to another meltdown by a beleaguered bullpen. Leaves you scratching your head a little bit, Darren.
2-2 the count.
You go from what if to what now?
You talk about this ball game kind of summing up being able to take advantage of situations, walks being issued. The pitchers for the Diamondbacks have issued 20. 8 have scored. The Diamondbacks have been issued 21, none of them over the last 7 games. This is a good offensive team, statistically. Not in this series, though. Base hit off the end of the bat, Hart. Let's bring in Jody Jackson on this Mother's Day. Jody?
Well, guys, with Dallas Braden's perfect game today, it brings back a memory of my own. Mother's Day 1996. I got my mom and dad a pair of tickets to a Marlins game, because I was covering the Marlins at the time, and I didn't know how cool of a present that was going to be, but Al Leiter threw a no-hitter against the Colorado Rockies that day. And my parents are big sports fans but rarely go to games. They, as you could appreciate, enjoy watching them on television. So it was pretty neat, and both my mom and my dad enjoyed that day.
Good memory, good story. Thank you, Jody.
Always plenty of good seats available at Marlins games.
That's a good point by you. I was thinking about that.
Very good team. 2 world championships.
They're all, no matter their payroll, too, they will always give you a game. Even the non-championship teams outside of the one after the 97 team.
I can see it now. Jody's mom and dad and Chewbacca.
Right, he was in costume at the Marlins game last year against the Diamondbacks. I don't think he was with Jody's family, though. 1-2 the count.
Well, he's got good seats.
Chewbacca. Or Jody's family.
Well, Jody's not going to give her mom and dad lousy seats. Because there's plenty of good seats available at Marlins games.
You just kind of walk on down. We're sitting up there. Well, no, we're not. We're sitting right down there, but
you can always get you a foul ball. You just have to walk over and grab it.
Locked him up over the inside corner. 6-1 the score.
right on the far right side.
We're going to work on that. Change that up. Here's Connor Jackson. By the way, the last A's perfect game, Dallas Braden threw one against Tampa Bay, just joining us.
Catfish, wasn't it?
Yeah, that's right, Catfish. Catfish Hunter, May of 1968, against the Twins in front of 6,300 fans. Today in attendance, 12,300 fans. Saw history.
Yeah, it's good to see. Things just haven't changed much in Oakland.
Connor Jackson, base hit, right field. Villanueva, the command specialist, who has had an incredible year this year, out of the bullpen. Saw him in the opener of this series. Tossed a couple of scoreless at the Diamondbacks. And we're talking about Braden and his little verbal dust-up with Alex Rodriguez, how they had a back and forth. Braden didn't like that Alex ran on top of the pitcher's mound when crossing across the field. Well, it came up again.
Oh, did it really?
And unfortunately for the perennial MVP, the most recent comment on Friday, so this is Sunday, on Friday in Boston, when he said, I don't want to, and I quote, extend his extra 15 minutes of fame. Now, Dallas took care of that just fine himself today. 1-0 the count.
That was after Dallas went after A-Rod again publicly, didn't he?
Mm-hmm.
Well, sounds to me like Dallas Braden might be one up.
He got a few more than 15 minutes coming.
He can throw a little neener there to A-Rod.
1-1 the count. The Arizona bullpen in this series has pitched 8 innings and given up 14 runs. 10 of them earned, and the Brewers have hit .324 against the Arizona bullpen. The Milwaukee bullpen on the flip side, a bullpen that was somewhat questioned at times as Justin puts it on the ground. McGee on the first. That's a double play. The Milwaukee bullpen continues to do very good work. And people were questioning. Trevor had struggled in the 9th inning. He saved the game. 8 1/3, a 148 opponent's batting average, 4 for 27. Here's Adam LaRoche. I know you and I poke fun at, and you and I are in agreement as LaRoche gets ready to hit, Adam LaRoche, of the quality stat start. I mean, we understand that we think that a quality start, I should say.
You do.
Well, neither one of us care for it anymore. But here's this. The Diamondbacks have 16 quality starts this year. If they don't win this ball game, they will have won 6 of those games.
6 and 10 when a pitcher goes 6 or more innings and gives up 3 or less runs.
You have to win those games.
Boy, you would think.
Breaking ball is low.
D-backs only 1 win all year, Darren, when they score 4 or less runs. 1 win all year when they score 4 or less. And that was just recently in Houston when Ian Kennedy beat Roy Oswalt 1-0.
Over the outside corner. Want to remind all of you that any time the Diamondbacks score 6 runs or more, Taco Bell is giving away 3 free tacos with the purchase of a large drink the following day between 4 and 6 o'clock at locations that participate.
Love that reminder.
Also want to remind all of you that Jason Lewis on this last trip, our producer, one of our producers, our senior producer in charge, did a great job. 6 wins in an 11-game road trip. Well, his boss, our coordinating producer, Mark Rita, has produced all weekend.
Well, you're going to blame Mark Rita.
Yep.
Just like I could blame you and Gonzo in Chicago.
Sure you could. The 2-2.
So, as LaRoche strikes out, we can thank Mark Rita for the downward spiral here at home against the Brewers.
How about this moment, though? Let's send it on the positive side. Dallas game. Dealers, it's time for the 7th inning stretch. Your dollar. Hyundai, the most fuel-efficient car maker in America. ValleyHyundaiDealers.com. Want to say happy Mother's Day to all the mothers in Sedona as Juan Gutierrez goes to work. And just point out a quick fact. Dallas Braden, the embrace there was someone certainly I would imagine proud of him, and it might have been his grandmother, but he honored his mother. He had lost his mother, Dallas Braden, as a high school senior. So I would imagine honored his mom beyond belief with his efforts today. As Ricky Weeks leads it off. Drops in there, strike one. That tearful and long hug was from Grandma. Boy, how about that? Oh, and 1 the count. Did he on a slider away? Yes, he did. 0-2. It was last Mother's Day that Braden was hit by a line drive off the bat of Vernon Wells. Oh, and 2 the count. Line drive into right center field. Weeks is down for a base hit. And so Ricky with a hit there. Single, and he doubled back in the 3rd inning.
Well, this Brewer squad has really had their way with the D-backs of late, haven't they, Darren?
Well, over the last, what, since 2007?
23 games?
Yeah, it has been a long run of domination. Craig loses a piece of his bat as that one hugs the line, and it's a foul ball. Since the series between these two, going back to 2007, should the Diamondbacks not rallying, they're down 5. In their last 24, against Milwaukee, they will have won 7 times.
Yikes.
and that's with the rally. Otherwise, it's 6 and 18 in their last 24.
That's pretty much ownership. Now, some teams are just bad matchups for you.
Now, if you look inside of the way you and I were talking about things behind the scenes in 07, and watching the Diamondbacks scratch and claw and hope to hang on and do something special and make it, I think to a man, we all, especially at this level, you would never ask a player this, especially at that point, but thought, goodness gracious, let it be the Cubs, because if the Brewers find their way in the playoffs, not a good matchup for Arizona.
I agree. I remember talking about that. Ended up coming to fruition, and the Diamondbacks just steamrolled the Cubs easily.
I mean, that year in 07, they were completely dominated. They were 2-5 against them in 07. Runner goes. Stolen base. And we heard of the consistencies, and A.J. Hinch had as well, of these Milwaukee Brewers. Well, they look like they're starting to lock in, maybe going a nice run if they play this way.
Well, they're having fun at the Diamondbacks' expense right now.
Jeff Suppan is warming. Craig rolls that one foul. Now Grayson.
Yes.
Don't forget July the 3rd, 2008.
Okay. What's going on? What was going on then?
Well, Milwaukee led Arizona 5-0. Going into the bottom of the 9th inning.
We were here.
Arizona scored 6 in the bottom of the 9th to win it. And they turned that frown upside down.
Yes, they did. And I still remember nobody out. The game would still be going if it wasn't the bottom of the 9th inning. Diamondbacks would still be hitting.
So if you can keep it right here at 5.
You got them right where you want them.
Well, if you play the game like you did July the 3rd of 08, Hunter Jackson, who delivered that hit, is due up 7th.
Left fielder Ryan Braun.
There's that lineup. Waiting for the 6th spot in the bottom of the 9th.
Mr. Blue Skies. That's what we want to be.
That's you. You're the glass half full guy. And that's what I love about you. I mean, even the rally backs are moping around down there.
They're just smiling with making little ones smile.
Darren got him a nice big gulp full of Kool-Aid there. I like it.
I'm ready. Ready for I got it. July 3rd, 2008. Back to the screen. Just a couple of outs to get. And then, folks, don't go anywhere. And, oh, by the way, if it occurs, we'll put a headset. We'll do an interview down there with the hero of the game. We won't just go off the air.
No. Well, Jody will be there.
Come on, Matty.
Get the boys going down there, Matthew. Bo Porter, all you guys. Get those boys going.
Got to get a pretty tough customer. And then another one, though, first. He went up the ladder and drives that ball to right. Upton going back.
Is he strong?
That was chest high. Mid-90s. And he almost hit it out.
With a cutoff emergency swing. That's pretty good.
All right, one more big out to get.
It's almost like Juan Gutierrez is the closer in this situation.
No, not really, but
keep the team right in there.
Let's hope he keeps it right here. 0-1 the count.
We're drinking it by the pitcher full up here, folks.
Prince on his birthday today, 26 years old. You saw him out at his birthday dinner last night.
I did. His beautiful wife and children.
Beat
there
him
it
with
is,
the fastball. Stay tuned. Don't forget, July 3rd, 2008, Milwaukee led by 5. Their bullpen didn't get going on there. July the 3rd, 2008, Solomon Torres didn't get anybody out. The Diamondbacks were trailing 5-0. Beat the Milwaukee Brewers with 6 runs. A little good karma.
Well, it's always great to see Chris Burke again.
Haven't seen him in a while. Well, it's Jeff Suppan. He goes to work. Right-hander, another guy that's kind of lost his way, if you will. Working out of that bullpen. Veteran's had a nice career, but the way things are going, it appears to be getting closer anyway to the end.
He's a guy that he's done yeoman's work in his career, but it's to the point now where he takes the mound in Milwaukee. You would think Stephen Drew's coming to the plate.
Last year, 7-12 with a 5.29 ERA. This year, in that time, just 17 1/3 innings. But there was a time there from about 99 until 06 where he was good for 200 plus every year. Was never a number 1, but was always a real good number 3. Would grind out innings, pitched big in the 06 postseason.
Pitches with a lot of heart. A lot less stuff than he used to have. But still a guy that doesn't back down from anybody. And a good guy to have on the squad.
No,
just a good person.
Out of Crespi in Southern California and Encino, California. Prep school out there. Slow curveball. That's strike 3. Well, let's take a look at what's brewing. Tuesday, and it's coming up here in a couple of days. Well, what's brewing? It's a telecast from the pool.
Oh, I can't get enough of this.
I won't be going in. I did my duty. It'll be the Dodgers, it'll be the Diamondbacks, and then you folks can vote Gracie into the pool.
Oh, looking forward to Darren getting back in there. You just did it so well. It's tough to see anybody else going in.
I'm not a candidate this year.
Joe Borowski, Jody.
Well, the one thing, Gracie, you have the ability to do.
What's that?
With your Q rating, you have the ability to just get everyone to vote for Joe. I mean, if you stay on that trip, you'll get him in there.
I think you're right.
So if Gracie says to you folks, vote for Joe, please vote Joe in, then you will. And so that's what I think we need to go on that bandwagon.
I think we do. I think we need to start having people vote Joe in. Love Joe, but he is the new guy. He needs to go in. Little
rookie hazing.
Yeah, fraternity prank type of thing.
So stay tuned. Watch that. Oh, by the way, a really good baseball game, we hope. With the Dodgers coming to town. Ooh, it's my stomach bubble.
Dastardly Dodgers.
That's a pretty good pitch.
Like to get a couple of wins on this homestand.
Oh, I would too. Well, hang around here now. Right here in the 9th. See?
There, you're right. Here it is. The one-out rally. Stephen Drew coming on up.
By the way, you want to talk about rallying from down 5? The Houston Astros rallied today, and they scored 4 runs.
Did they win a ball game today?
They scored 4 runs and beat San Diego 4-3.
Oh, good for the Astros.
Stephen Drew, all right, here we go. We've got a walk, now we've got a single. Okay, now it's getting a little bit more interesting. Chad Billingsley tomorrow on the mound against Rodrigo Lopez. Rodrigo, who, of course, idolized Fernando Valenzuela, dropped the soccer ball, put it aside to play baseball as a young man because of Fernando. Well, I think you might want to think about that. So now Chris Snyder. Phones ringing down in that Milwaukee bullpen. Snyder, hot shot, getting close. Getting close to these Diamondbacks. Bases are loaded with 1 out. A walk, a single, and a single.
I would imagine that's going to be it for Jeff Suppan. Get out of there.
D-backs digging deep for a victory here. And now Tony Abreu. The pinch hitter. Rick Peterson will come out.
But, yeah, Rick Peterson. Trevor Hoffman's not ready.
No.
He's not ready yet.
They've called down about 3 times. You can hear their bullpen phone ringing.
So Suppan's going to have to face Tony Abreu. Ken Moffitt saying, man.
So now Abreu, 16 for 47 this year, hitting .340. Arizona hits .400 with the bases loaded this season. 6th best in Major League Baseball.
Abreu a little over anxious there. Swung at the slow curve.
The veteran right-hander. Kelly Johnson waits on deck. Bouncing ball. He's going to go home with it. To first. That's the ball game.
Groundhog Day for Tony Abreu.
So the Diamondbacks come up short. The Brewers come to town, and Milwaukee is 18-6 in their last 24 against the Arizona Diamondbacks. 6-1 the final score. On behalf of our producer, Mark Rita, our director, Marty Tarr, Jody Jackson joining us down on the field doing some broadcasting.